fantastic result for Spurs yesterday. Going to the Etihad, beating Man City, who have not lost for I don't know how long. It feels like the whole season, to be honest with you. Kane. Let's start with Harry Kane. Look, I've accused him, and I can be open with it, I've accused him of almost not being that guy anymore. You know, not the striker that we've seen for the last sort of 6-7 years. Looked like he lost a yard of pace, disinterested. And you can understand why with what happened in the summer. He's clearly back. He's clearly back. He proved to me yesterday he's back. Not just the goals, the assists as well, the movement. Harry and Diaz, Harry and Rodri in the midfield. Kane looked fantastic yesterday.
Harry Kane played yesterday like he had something to prove. And I've always been a big fan of Harry Kane's. And when he goes, again, he's a player that always goes through a little, I wouldn't say a drought, but he'll go through like 3 or 4 games. And then they'll say, oh, he's looking half a yard off it, or is he carrying injury? And then he brings himself back out of it. There's never any doubt about Harry Kane's quality and his desire. As you said there, it's bound to affect you psychologically by not getting the big move at the beginning of the season. Yeah. And he would be looking at Spurs and thinking, you're not matching my ambition because, Espirito Santo going in, all right, he was a Premier League player, but he's not elite. Now Antonio Conte's gone in, then Harry Kane thinks, I am working with an elite manager at his prime. He's had elite managers with, obviously, Mourinho, but Mourinho was past his best. Yeah. So he goes in there, then Kulusevski plays yesterday. Look good. Just behind Harry Kane, and it was like it's supposed to be a 3-4-2-1, and really it was out of position, it was a 5-4-1. But, as I said earlier, with Harry Kane dropping deep, then Spurs committed Kulusevski and Son forward. And he was, I wouldn't say unplayable, because Diaz and Laporte didn't really show a lot of intent whether they were going to go in. You have to make up your mind.
You know what, though? They seem to have a problem because Harry Kane seemed to float in that area where he wasn't an out-and-out number 9. He's no longer that, by the way, I don't think. And he's almost floating in this area where Diaz and Laporte don't know if they're picking him up or Rodri's supposed to be picking him up.
Right, exactly. But they did it beginning of the season. Even under Nuno, it was exactly the same, wasn't it? When he was dropping deep and the runs of the forwards going in behind him. And that was very good tactic from Nuno Espirito. So it must even come from Guardiola or your coaching staff before the game. Yeah. Unless there's something that some managers don't worry about the opposition, because Man City are that good. They think, right, if we're at the top of our game and we're passing properly and we're closing down as we are, then that'll look after itself. Whereas surely it comes from the manager. And if it don't come from the manager or the coach, then the players have to work it out. You either Diaz or Laporte goes all the way in with Harry Kane to stop him turning, because we're going to do the stunning, like the pass he put through with his left foot.
Oh, don't tease. It might not be in there.
Yeah, okay, right. Is it in the Stunners?
I don't know if it is. I can't remember.
It's been a good week. You either go all the way in, so you stop him turning, but if that happens, then your back 4 have to come up, the other 3 have to come narrow, so there's no gaps that you can go through. Or, as you said there, your communication has to be with Rodri, say, he's just coming, you go and pick him up, because if you nullify him, then you nullify
You kind of stop Spurs, really,
exactly.
Don't you?
It just seemed, it was really strange to watch that even after like 10, 15 minutes it was happening, that then you don't get designated, right, make sure he can't turn.
But isn't that credit to Harry Kane? Again, we're talking about a top world-class player here, one of the best number 9s in world football. It's more credit to him than a dig at Diaz and Laporte, isn't it?
No, it's intelligence from Harry Kane to find those spaces, and the awareness that he has to get himself on the half-turn, and his passing range is, because when he drops into that deep position, he virtually becomes like a quarterback, where he can spray. He actually switches to play. It's not just, I'm dropping deep and I'm having little layoffs and then getting the next one.
He wants to drop deep and almost become Kevin De Bruyne, doesn't he?
Exactly, yeah. He switches to play. But again, another big plus for Spurs yesterday was Eric Dier coming back. Oh. Because Antonio Conte has actually said, when they went 9 unbeaten, didn't they, under him? He said that he thought that Eric Dier had the possibilities of being one of the best centre-halves in the world, also in Europe.
And people laughed,
and they
including
laughed.
myself.
But Eric Dier, if he plays in that 3 and he plays in the middle of the 3 and he doesn't get exposed, because he hasn't got any pace, but if he doesn't get exposed for pace and he can sit in that middle of that 3, and Romero yesterday and Davis either side of him, then he controls that, because he reads the game very well. He's good on the ball. He's good in the air. So he's a player that will improve dramatically in the system that Antonio Conte is playing. Interesting
about Eric Dier, and as you're saying that, you kind of made me think about the international fold. Obviously, he was a massive part of it with Gareth Southgate prior. Obviously, 2018 World Cup, he was there more of a midfielder than a defender. But when you look at what's going on with English defenders right now, Maguire's out of sorts. Stones is playing right back for some weird reason. Connor Cody, hit and miss. Mings is we'll move on from Mings very quickly. There's not much to go there with. I mean, Ben White's there and he's doing a good job at Arsenal, but is Dier playing his way back into the England fold?
He needs the next squad will probably come a bit too quickly.
Soon for him?
Yeah, if he can get himself a run of games, then Gareth Southgate has always said that he will pick players on form.
Yeah.
If that's the case, in this next squad, Webster should be in from Brighton, and Tyrone Mings shouldn't be in. He'll go with Harry Maguire's form. Doesn't want him being in, but because he's what he's done for England before, he's got
a bit of credit
money
in
the bank. Exactly. Then he'll go with that. So there's no reason. And I think what Eric Dier sort of suffered from in earlier in his career was he was playing holding midfield. I think he wanted to play as the holding midfield player, and he was dipping in and out of centre half, holding midfield. Yeah. And especially at the top level, you need to get a run of games. So you need to get confidence in your positional play where you don't have to overthink too much. And the more and more that he plays, and he will play as the centre of and he's an experienced player. He's not a young player anymore. He's an experienced player. So he's got more responsibility.
The Sunday Session. High-octane football fan fuel. Sunday afternoons from 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.